Hello there everybody and welcome back to episode 2 of my tutorial series for the Matchless Kung Fu. We're going to go over more wonderful little basic things in this episode and we're going to explore the game together. It is pretty hard for me to focus on a specific topic per episode. I do try to stick to a main topic per episode. For today, for example, I want to stick my nose into the crafting with you friends, but there's always going to be tons of other things because this game has a lot of interconnected little dots. Now, before we get started for real, a real quick pointer towards all you people that prefer live streams over videos. I am streaming each Friday and Sunday, evening time in the Middle European time zone. So if you want to tune on in, I'd be very, very happy to see you. Now, we are going to go today into the crafting part first. So as you see, there is a lot of things that we can craft, and more importantly, a lot of things that are locked. So the very first thing that we're going to go for is we're going to craft our way out of this misery. So broken bowls are a tool for begging. Begging is a early game, or well, generally an income source, and it is an option to do things. And as you see here, the more often we craft something, the more XP we gain. So let's tell this game to craft 3 more times, and I highly recommend you to not go for any more than you really need, because in the previous versions overspill was not added into the next level. I don't know if this has been improved since then. Whatever. So here's a little bit of a tutorial about the new items that we have unlocked. Business facilities. So we can now craft business and production facilities and defensive facilities. Yeah. Calm down, little game. So the real important things are that we have now learned to craft ourselves a couple of things that we can use for our better living. So we're going to increase our crafting level still though, as we are currently not really in a state where things are really that pleasing. And those broken bolts, they are pretty good, as you can use them when needed. And stone is, in my experience, that one material that you won't be regretting too much to sell it all away. Because, well, stone and wood are pretty available materials, but those grasses, licorice, and all those things that give wild grass are, especially early on, really sought after, because you need them later for fabric crafting. And my experience was, if you are selling away your wild grass early on instead of saving it, you might be regretting that. And well, regret is too much said, but you might be ending up needing to grind more than you would have needed to. So besides that, earning our money can be done now by grinding like a madman and going to that cargo ship, for example. But everybody out there in the world also has a money inventory. We also have a new area standing out, but first let me grab those rocks. These materials are all regenerating resources, so you don't need to worry about picking them up. It's quite the opposite. You should farm them for them to regenerate. As you see there, stone chunks are the primary ingredient that we are farming, but there's flint, and there is iron ore that we're also mining besides the stone. So, in a nutshell, you want to try to hold on to the rarer parts as much as you can, not sell them away even if they are worth quite something, until you know that you don't really need them in that kind of amount that they are falling into your hands. But until then, it might be really not the worst idea to just keep everything. So we're going to be able to go for 27 of these. So typing in 27 on the keyboard, and voila. We're now leveled up and we can now craft more things. So as you see, the more unlocks we do, the more building parts and the like we can unlock here. There is, though, a limit to crafting, as the other things that you can unlock here, crafting master, but down here you see that we need different skills, and by just crafting our pocket we are never going to learn any other things. So we need to go for a different thing. So, but for starters, this will get us somewhere. Let's check out where the next area will take us. So, let's see the special ones. Yeah. So we still don't have the ability to spawn a city. As you see there are cities and a contest and all manner of different things. So we're going to go for Skyland Village. There we go. So as you see, we're spawning more people and more buildings, and unlike the previous area there, this has mostly enemies, we have here spawned a small village with people and things that will help us out there. So we're going to use the broken bolts there. And let's check out what our mission over there is. Help others 2 times. All right. This is really excellent, as this shows us also quite nicely how we can earn money. And since fall damage is a thing, you should try to use your double jump right before you smack onto the ground. So these guys all have a quest. So everybody has quests. So this guy needs 10 flint. He also needs broken bolts, so let's give that. So claim quest, submit quest, since we have all that item that he required. Boom, that's done. So we can do this here as well. And yeah, admittedly, this is very generic and very basic questing. But, well, for sandbox games, I think this is okay-ish. So, we have already fulfilled the quest from the area next there, so we have already unlocked the next thing there. So everybody out there has personal commissions. The fun part there is that these guys here, well, it's a little bit of story that plays off. New NPCs are being introduced. There's lots of story here also involved that I don't want to go too deep into, because it ain't too much of a job of this tutorial to spoil your story. So, clothing. We get now our first suit of clothing, which is really cool, because it'll take a pretty long time until you can craft your first set of clothing yourself. So, clothing increases your chi and has everywhere some different stats on them. So, here this breast thing lets the stacks fade slower. That means we can keep them longer. And faint duration, I cannot remember what that stat was. I'm very sorry about that. Been a while since I read those stats. Especially since when you can craft them for yourself, you are looking for a specific set, and well, we're gonna get over these later. But most importantly, you see max vigor plus, maximum cold stacks -1. That is so far interesting, as there are cold biomes that hurt you with cold, and chi increase. We already know that from the Meridian menu. What's that good for? But most importantly, we are not naked anymore. So that's fascinating that the game thinks we need to do this one more time. But well, we're able to just go over there. I tapped shift, by the way, to go into sprint mode, which is also pretty useful. So let's do that one more time. We are going to assist this fine person here. And, oh, we don't have enough stone chunk to submit that quest, so come on, stop buggering me. Yeah, by the way, these notifications here, they are extremely obnoxious, and I'm very sorry if they bother you. They do bother me as well. Alright, we're picking up quickly the stone chunks for that other person, and this is one way how you gain not only money, but most importantly, you can gain the friendship of people. And with this game, it is all about making yourself friends with people and getting them to teach you things and getting them to work together with you. So the social component is typically for a Chinese game pretty strong. If people sleep, by the way, we can just wake them up and bother them with the stone chunks that we got for them. So here we go. Quest completed. And as you see there, you could now do that for all manner of different things. But what's also very important is that people can also be, well, let's see, you can also teach them something. So they all are super happy if you start teaching them your skills or your inner kung fu abilities or whatever you got, basically. Whatever they want to have, that is. So, let's see. And that is increasing the friendship with those people. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about what you want to achieve with your character and what kind of story you want to tell. As this game, with its sandboxiness, you know, it's up to you if you are the goody two-shoes person or if you are the evil overlord that does all the evilness that he can, and you know what. So, we now get to go over to Maple Manor, and we get to beg a bit. So, let's do that. Bagging is just a skill like any other skill as well. You just get to the people, get in front of their faces, and then you sit down and beg. There we go. That's that. People get sympathy towards you, and then they toss you some coin. That's how it works. That's this challenge behind that. And now we can also, I think it was follow me. Or was it hire? I can't remember anymore which that the other one was. So people can be hired for some protection. There we go. For me. For 1 day. And then we just give them coin. You have to pay 1,000 coin for this, for them to consider this a fair exchange. The fun part is that we can pay with all manner of different things. Among these, poo and meat from animals. But as we see there, we're going to have to invest a little bit harder into our collection skills. But, well, let's see. I don't want to sell the, well, the licorice can do. 1,000 gold, by the way, is really not much in this game. That is, let's see. Well, I sadly haven't collected enough money to just make that easily happen. But let's see, maybe we can. Nah. Well, we gotta collect some stuff that we can put into the pocket of that guy. Gives me a good opportunity to show you another option that is also very interesting to know. But first, let's have a sleep on the mat. So, earning money in this game is dirty easy, in all honesty. You can do so many different things there. We're going to introduce other options in this series, of course, as well as the base building aspects and all. But, you know, I can only do one thing at a time. So, while we're chopping wood, we're also gaining things that we can sell. And at the beginning of the game, there's really no shame in just running all over the place and collecting things. We will unlock rather sooner than later the option to build farmland, where we can basically grow all the plants that we've found so far. So licorice and all these can be industrialized, so to speak, and therefore, well, you will have enough resource to work with in no time. You just have to pull it up. We're going to go over the deets in this series, of course. By the way, here somebody is building a house for himself. That is a building site that we see there. One like we are going to go for ourselves as well. And here you can also see that these materials are necessary for the building process. And here it goes. Ah, we were able to actually see the licorice respawning. So let's go for that, and after these stones, we're going to visit the trade ship. So you can now make friends with all of those people down there, but you perfectly could also just kill everybody out there, and it's your world. I want to emphasize this because this game really, how to say, really lives off of that fact that it is your world to design, explore, and toy around with. So we have plenty of capacity still left. But let's head on down here. So the cargo ship. We can here expand into a new area, so you don't have to go for the expansion like we did it before. You can also just expand with money. The thing here, though, is that these guys here on the boat, they don't have money. As you see there, this boat doesn't have money. Not all of the boats are the same. Some of these boats do have money, some of them don't. It is really very much depending on what kind of cargo ship you have there. Also, the stuff that they sell is very different from time to time. You really get some really useful things there. So, all in all, money is a very, very grindable resource in this game. So, and here we get somebody telling us that he got beaten by monkeys. So we're going to tell him that this mischief shouldn't go unpunished. You gotta leave it to me, buddy. And this is how we also can gain sometimes a new area. You, by the way, can configure for yourself where they should sit. Somebody can give you a quest location. And that way we gained another area where we can now punch monkeys. I did in my previous gameplay series, an episode about that. So these monkeys are also victims of our Kung Fu, but one thing that I really wanted to do real quick, so we have that money there still, is look at this guy. He's setting up his house now, by the way. He's going to live here. Things are happening in the world. And we gain now wall walking because we were climbing so much. Let's do the double jump. And always pick up that Rami, whatever. Okay, some Kung Fu. We haven't learned the eagle skill yet, and I really gotta stress out how important it is to get yourself that eagle skill. As it is, or I should say it differently, if ever you can acquire a Kung Fu from the enemy, go for it. It's that... It's just some freebie, and the Eagle Bionic ain't bad at all, as it gives you free crits for 3 moves, and it deals weapon damage. That is especially cool, as we don't have weapon damage tokens yet. Well, we do have them now. Alright, so we also gained, or I don't know if we first have to equip a weapon for that, but we'll see. Either way, this skill is now learned, and we can now move on over to the monkey's place. So here, defeat 3 monkeys, acquire the bionic monkey, and find the hidden chests in the area. There's also lots of goodies that we can pilfer here. So the Monkey Mountain is a very good beginner's area, as you can gather that May Lily for income, as all of these can be gathered for the sake of farming them later. And of course we have to punch a couple of monkeys, so let's do this. Monkeys are not much more dangerous than the eagles. They feature a lot more kicks, so we need punches. So we don't have too many punches, so we're going to use a death move to have more punches. We're going to transform one of our palm moves into a punch, and then with the Omni Move token, we're going to go for that. This is as good as we can do. We're countering a portion of the enemy's moves, but sadly we haven't had enough tokens to go for anything there. Ain't too bad, as we didn't take too much damage and the enemy took quite a lot of it. So there's more punches incoming, but luckily kicks incoming, but luckily we got our punches now. So we keep that death move rolling, because I personally feel like we're better off like that. So let's transform one of those palms into a kick. Strap that up here. Don't forget to go for that. And pick up the palm. Trigger the surprise move. And, well, alright, it is not the best turn, but we countered enough of the monkey. And we knocked him out. There we go. So we didn't kill the monkey. Not yet. And the most fun part is that even the monkeys are training. So this game is very interactive, and so far as every entity out there is developing itself as you do. That's how you probably should perceive it. So let's do a lot of kicking. That's as good as it gets. Yeah, we don't produce weapon tokens as of yet, as we don't have a weapon equipped yet, so that's not possible. Let's give that monkey a crotch kick. It's quite ruddy, isn't it? And yeah, let's go for the punches that we did for preparations, and well, it's not that exciting, but well. As you see there, the enemy countered a couple of my moves. I didn't plan that through too excellently, but since the monkeys are not that much of a big enemy, you can easily do. So these guys do have also their loot. And let's see, we've beaten 2 monkeys. You gotta be careful though, there is also a big monkey running around here, if I remember. And we need to counter those punches with swords, which we don't have yet. So that's the problem. So we bank 1 punch, transform 1 punch. We, wait a sec. Can we use those palms even? Not really. Oh, that's a tragedy. So here Omni-Move doesn't allow me to go for that, but it's okay. As we're totally annihilating the little guy. Early on, your options, by the way, are quite scarce in terms of... Oh, look at that bone value. In terms of making combos work and getting the combat through as you want it to. That is mostly because you don't have many abilities. So you have a hard time getting the tokens down that you want. So for example, here we have 1 skill that we cannot even use as of now. But this will all ease up in time. But I meant to say that because when I started out with the game, this made me feel like I was constantly doing something wrong. You're not. You just don't have all the cards that you need to properly play the game. That's what's going on, so don't worry too much about that. So we keep using the def move to bank on those punches, as this is getting us somewhere, and now we're going for those kicks, and that takes out this little guy, just like that. Alright, we learned the Monkey Bionic, which is pretty nice, as it gives us more fists. And now the only thing left to do here is to find the secret chest. So this is how we progress in this game. You can now learn, of course, more crafting things if you'd want to. And this secret chest searching minigame, by the way, that is also something that you will come on by in this game quite often. Here, these have fixed locations, so I'm pretty sure it might be just down here. These have fixed locations, also fixed content, and that is our melee weapon that we've been looking for. And we keep picking Vigor here for now. As I keep saying, you don't do anything wrong with Vigor. And I want to point out here that the more you use the tokens in your build, the more damage they do. This is here, every ring of these, you see the yellow line, when that's filled the next time, get 1 more attack bonus on all punches. Of course, it is also recommendable to specialize your damage at some point, but like I keep trying to tell myself, a dead Kung Fu person can't kill anybody. And especially if you are new to the game and you are prone to do mistakes, it's just normal. That's how learning works. It's really forgiving if you have a big fat stack of HP, protecting you from your mistakes and rather protecting you from getting kicked out of the game, because this might have a save system at all, but if you die, basically. That's the philosophy of the game. But the good thing is, don't worry about dying in this game, as if you do, you will just have the ability to build a even better character then. So that's pretty nifty. So let's see if we have 1,000 coins together for this kind person here. And I also wanted to point out that all these locations here, like the water, the well, and all, they have they can be interacted with. There's a lot of interaction in this game possible. So we also have sort of a main story here. So we have a you are a nameless, super duper mega powerful cultivator. It's in a nutshell where it gets there, and you get to select, of course, for yourself how you do your fate and what your exact story is and all. But in a bigger picture, the game's idea is that you are the big bad cultivation superhero, and you've lost your memory when you were washed ashore here, and you're now rewriting your history, so to speak. I think that pretty much boils it down. I mean, this is a pretty generic story that we see in that in that genre quite often. But heck, why should I judge here? So it's important that we give this guy some poo. That's not. So we can now go for this, as we have evened it out. We release the commission, and now this guy will follow us for 1 day to protect us. This can be really awesome if you have a mission up ahead of you where there's really nasty dudes that are scaring the hell out of you, and yeah, you just have to invest some money for that. Okay, so where do we go next? The thing is, every one of these areas is sort of a tutorial area. Yeah, let's go for Swallow Falls, as this will teach us the building menu. That is exactly where I want to go for next, but not for this episode. So the cargo ship has now moved, as we have moved away the coastline there, and a second one has spawned. That is also very typical. And we also have now a second token where we can expand towards to, but I'll be delaying that. The thing about this game is that in its basics, it is fairly easy to understand, and I don't expect this series to go tremendously long, because I think we will have established how this game works quite quickly. And I'll do my best to just show you the ropes to have fun with it. So it's really important to stress out that whenever a new of these cargo ships shows up, you definitely should visit them, as they totally have very, very interesting items for you to pick up. With the building menu come a lot of very interesting new options as well that we haven't acquired yet. But I'd say each thing at its own time. So let's see. I hope there is well. It's not there. So one of the most interesting things that these ships can sometimes sell is items that permanently increase your chi. You should always look for these. And if you have the stomach for it, grind the necessary money for that. But that being said, next episode will be a little bit more about building, earning money, and all those things. And yeah, I hope you found it helpful. I really like this game. It is a little bit rough around the edges, as it is still early access and all, but it is a lot of fun. It allows you a lot of freedom in character development and world building. And yeah, I really hope that this series does its job to transport that fun to you as well. So drop me your comments down below, and oh yeah, before we exit, this is the point where we get to select our sect. So I'll be summarizing that at the beginning of the next episode, but this is where you select what kind of style you'll be playing. So ice skills are really cool, but all of these are absolutely playable, and most importantly, this is not the only sect building that you'll select. You'll have the ability to pick up pretty much everything, so that is pretty cool in its own right. So we're going to go for the Flame Sect, as fire sounds fun, and we unlock now the Ruby Cliff Ravine, which is a much larger thing, as you see there, and this is going to be our first sect. So seems like episode 4 already showed up as well. Now then, my friends, that's that for today. I'll see you all on the next one. Comments go down below, like I wanted to say before the sect menu popped up. Thumbs up would be appreciated so the algorithm can do its magic to show this video to other people. And of course, feel free to subscribe. Be delighted to have you. And in the description box, plenty of links. Among these, the playlist link for this playlist. And there's also my Discord. Be super happy if you'd be jumping on in. And like I said in the beginning, there's also Twitch if you like live streams. I do these on the weekends. And of course, Patreon, PayPal, buy me a coffee. I'd be super happy about getting some support on the channel, and if you feel like my content is worth you a couple of dimes, I'd be really, really happy. Big thanks to everybody who's supporting, and a big thanks to you watching this video, because that's the most important and appreciated form of support. That all being said, see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.